Hello, and thank you for joining me on my journey to the top 100 trout streams in America. I'm Getty Sarno. Trout fishing has been a passion of mine for as long as I can remember. My plan is to start off in my home waters in Pennsylvania and Maryland, and then expand my trips out west. So come along for some fun fishing in fantastic waters. Today I'm fishing the Chattahoochee in Georgia. This is my first time in Atlanta, and it's an awesome city. This is a shot from the Marriott Marquis. It's really gigantic. I had to stop in at the Varsity and have a chili dog and some onion rings. They were amazing. I'd highly recommend stopping in and having a bite. The Chattahoochee is huge. There's lots of places to access it. I started off at Morgan Run. There's some really good access points there. There's a dog park there. And unfortunately, the water was very, very high, so I really didn't fish there. Next, I went over to Jones Bridge Park. Now, this is a great place for access. There's a great pavilion. There's bathrooms. It's definitely a tailwater, so you have to be very careful. The access is really great here. It's a beautiful place to hang out, let alone fish. Unfortunately, they were running the dam that day, so it was relatively unfishable. I really wish I would have been there on a day where they weren't running a lot. So then I moved on to the Lower Pool West Park, right below the Buford Dam. This place was great. It was $5 to get in, but the facilities were really awesome. And I was lucky enough that they weren't running the water until 6 o'clock at night, so that gave me plenty of time to fish that day. The water was great and very, very wadeable, but be very careful. The water comes up very quickly. If you walk downstream from the park, there's a really great path and a bridge that takes you down to Bowman's Island. The paths are really great, but be prepared. Almost every single one of them had a very, very big drop off. Sometimes I had to climb down like it was almost a ladder down to the stream. And because the water's going to come up, always be very cautious about where you're standing. I fished down there and picked this one up on a midge. I then moved upstream closer to the dam and had a good time fishing there. I picked up this beautiful one, really gorgeous trout, on a caddis fly, just blind casting. The next morning I went to the same spot. Really cool fog coming over the water with the heat hitting the really, really cold water. It actually made for a little bit challenging fishing in the morning because I really couldn't see my fly. I also couldn't see where to wade, so I played it safe and made sure that I knew exactly where I was going. I picked up this really pretty fish on a caddis and had a really great time. That was the Chattahoochee. Really a gigantic river. I probably could have fished there for a couple of months. So many places for access, especially if I would have gotten a little bit more lucky with the dams on the lower section not running water. But Buford Dam made the whole trip worthwhile. It was just an absolutely fantastic trip. Atlanta was also awesome, so I'd highly recommend getting down there. It was a really great time.